Sup lads, it's your boy Bandana-Boi, and Iran versus New Zealand ended 2-2. The World Cup so far has been insane. Out of the 16 games that have concluded in the World Cup, 8 of them have been draws. 5 of them have been 1-1 draws, 2 of them were 2-2 draws, and 1 of them was a 0-0 draw between Spain and Cape Verde. It is absolutely insane what's happening in the World Cup. I definitely expected the bigger teams to be showing up. Just like this game, Iran is ranked 20th in the world, and New Zealand is ranked 85th. This isn't to say that the rankings are the only thing that matter, but I do expect when a team is ranked 20th to be crushing a team that's ranked 85th when there's a 65 spot difference. But anyway, aside from that, let us get into the game. In the beginning of the game was extremely messy from both sides. It almost looked like street football. It was kind of funny to see, especially in the first half. New Zealand were whiffing so many shots. Even their best man, Chris Wood, was whiffing the ball, and so many of their other players either whiffing the ball or completely missing the ball to begin with. And it was really funny. It took Iran a lot of time to get going. Because in the first half, I was worried. I thought New Zealand might actually go away with a 3-0 win with the way things were looking. For New Zealand, though, the partnership between Chris Wood and Just is just enough to make them get a draw. And the first goal, the link up, was amazing. It did look messy in the beginning, but that last touch by Chris Wood over his head to give the pass to Just, and at that point, he's so close to the goal. As long as he didn't aim at the keeper, it was going in, and just did just that. And Iran on the other side, again, their first goal, the same player that started it actually ended it. And you gotta give props to him. I think his name is Momedi, and basically, he crosses the ball in and he keeps running. One of his teammates basically like hits the ball onto the defender and becomes kind of weird and like stagnant. And he's running with all his momentum, and he's there at the right place and the right time to finish the ball. So fair play to him. And the second goal by Iran, by far the best goal of the match, and genuinely one of the best goals of the World Cup tournament so far. So initially there's that switch pass from the left to the right side, and then the control of the ball is beautiful. And the pass in, the cross was just inch perfect, and then the header was just the cherry on top. I'm talking post in. You don't get much cleaner than that. The keeper stood no chance. Usually keepers dive and there's not much distance between them and the ball. This time there was a big gap. It was like even the keeper was just mesmerized looking at the ball as it was going in. So fair play to them, because that was genuinely one of the best goals I've seen so far in the World Cup. 8 draws is insane, but what's even more insane is the groups. Some of these groups, like the one right now, with Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand, are all tied on 1 point. And this isn't the only group. I'm pretty sure there's other groups, Spain and Cape Verde, their group as well. Everyone is tied on 1-1. You don't even know who's gonna win, who's coming out of it, and what's happening with the big dogs. I simply expect more from them. There's no way all the big teams should be drawing to all these smaller teams. I don't know if they aren't taking it seriously, but the World Cup is 8 games. You can't be slacking for any of these games. So while I do get that maybe some of these teams are testing out the waters, currently is not the time to be doing that. You need to be clinical, you need to be scoring, you need to be winning these games to ensure that you make it to the next round. It's only 8 games. I don't know what these teams are doing. The group stage is 3 games, and then at that point, it's the knockout rounds where every single game matters. At that point, if you snooze, you lose, and you don't want to be sent home packing by a team that you should be defeating easily. With that being said, New Zealand versus Iran, it was a messy brawl, but it was a fun one. You know, it was entertaining, it had some good goals, it had the foul drama, it had some animosity, but nothing that's too dangerous, and it just delivered all over. An absolutely great game for the neutrals, but I would like to see some more decisive wins from some of these bigger teams. With that being said, lads, tell me what y'all think. Do y'all like the amount of draws that have happened in the World Cup so far, or is it also annoying you a little bit? That's all I have for today. I love y'all, I appreciate y'all, and true